Now, the roads are wet and slippery today after heavy rains over the weekend. Authorities are urging motorists embarking on long drives to exercise caution and be alert at all times. Road safety campaigns were launched ahead of the long weekend, but did they yield positive results? Well, eNCA's Heidi Giokos is watching the traffic this morning for us. Heidi, how's traffic this hour as holidaymakers return back home?
I must say, Mfundo, it's still very quiet, and it might be because it's still very early and holidaymakers are still making their way back to Gauteng province. But I do think that the weather has also been some kind of deterrence with regards to people opting to go on holiday or going away for the long Easter weekend. The rain also might have some kind of impact on operations here. But let's get a clearer picture from JMPD spokesperson Xolani Fihla. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Fihla. We do appreciate it. It seems as though this is quite a big operation here, joint operation between SAPS and JMPD. Just tell us how the roads are looking and any serious accidents or incidents that you can report at this hour.
Thank you to you, Heidi. Now, I can say that it has been relatively quiet in the city of Johannesburg. We know that many holiday makers or people going home and for religious festivals leave the city to go to the various destinations within the country. But today we are expecting a high number of people coming back through the city. They'll be using the Grasmere toll plaza coming from the south of the country, which is Free State and other parts. And they'll also be coming from the north, which is Limpopo. But within the city of Johannesburg, we can say that officers have attended 6 fatal accidents. From those 6, 4 were involving pedestrians, and then the other 2 was a motorist and a passenger. And it is really scary because when it comes to pedestrians, we know that most campaigns are directed to motorists, and we kind of forget about pedestrians. And as we can see, that there's a high number of pedestrians who are getting hit. So I think our focus needs to change more on actually seeing how pedestrians are working throughout the city, and most of those accidents have been on the freeway. I know with one of those accidents, the driver was under the influence of alcohol, and I can say that could have been avoided, even though the pedestrian was wrong crossing the road unsafely. But if the motorist wasn't under the influence of alcohol, I think that could have been avoided. And also within the city of Johannesburg, 86 motorists have been arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol, and that is a serious problem because we know that is a major cause of fatal accidents and also speeding and driving recklessly.
That was going to be my next question. We're obviously seeing a big problem with people driving under the influence, but surely there are also other issues. Perhaps people don't have their driver's license, unworthy cars on the road. That seems to also be some kind of issue here, or maybe you can tell us if that is an issue that you are picking up with these roadblocks around the city.
Yes, it is an issue because other than driver behavior, the conditions of the road, that's one, and also the conditions of the vehicle also contribute if an accident is going to be very serious or it's going to be a slight accident. But with those, as you can see today, there is a joint operation by various law enforcement agencies within Gauteng. We've got Gauteng Traffic Police, we've got JMPD and the SAPS. So they are checking for driver fitness and for vehicle fitness as well.
And then just lastly, we are expecting rain to start at around 2 o'clock this afternoon. This is, of course, going to impact driving, and people, of course, needing to be very careful because we do know when it starts raining, things sometimes go a bit bad. But maybe just words of caution and safety for those that are heading back to Johannesburg today.
Definitely, as we can see that the weather has been unfavorable throughout the week, so it's important for every road user, that's motorists and pedestrians, to adhere and obey all the rules of the road. For motorists, make sure that you reduce your vehicle speed and maintain a safe following distance. And then when the weather does get a bit unfavorable and it does get dark, please switch on your headlights for better visibility. That's for you to see and for other motorists to see you. And also avoid extremely flooded roads and low-lying bridges. We know that when the water levels do rise, that vehicles can get swept away, and that is a danger for motorists.
Certainly, and I think arrive alive. I think that's very important. Thank you so much for your time. That is JMPD spokesperson Xolani Fihla. And I'm just going to ask my colleague Joko Mane to just show you It seems as though there are a number of vehicles coming through this Grasmere toll plaza. We do know that holiday makers are making their way back, and I think the key message here, Mfundo, is just arrive alive. You can see many of the vehicles have their headlights on. The weather is changing. We are expecting rainfall in the next hour or so, according to the weather forecast, and I think the message is very clear. Just be cautious and be vigilant and alert as much as possible.
Heidi, let's hope they do adhere to road regulations. Thank you very much. That's our reporter, Heidi Giokos, who's out at Grasmere Toll Plaza.